Hey everyone, imagine this future. You wake up in your bedroom on Mars. You look out the reinforced window and see a vast red landscape stretching endlessly under a butterscotch-colored sky. Phobos and Deimos, the two small moons, are visible during the day. You are living in the very first permanent city on another planet. This is no longer distant science fiction. Multiple space agencies and private companies like SpaceX, NASA, ESA, and China are actively planning and developing the technology to make the first human city on Mars a reality within the next few decades. But what would that city actually look like? How would people live there day to day? What massive challenges would they have to overcome every single day just to survive? In this detailed video, I spent a lot of time researching the latest scientific papers, engineering studies, habitat designs, life support systems, psychological research, and colonization roadmaps from the best experts in the world. I will break down the most realistic and up-to-date vision of humanity's first city on Mars from the very beginning all the way to a thriving, self-sustaining settlement. First, we have to understand how incredibly difficult building a city on Mars really is. Unlike the Moon, which is only 3 days away, Mars is an average of 6 to 9 months travel time away, depending on planetary alignment. The planet has almost no breathable atmosphere. It is 95% carbon dioxide and extremely thin. Surface temperatures average minus 60 degrees Celsius and can drop to minus 125 at the poles. There is dangerous cosmic and solar radiation because Mars lost its global magnetic field billions of years ago. The soil, called regolith, is full of toxic perchlorates that can damage human health. Massive dust storms can cover the entire planet for months and block out most sunlight needed for solar power. Gravity is only 38% of Earth's, which will cause serious long-term health problems for human bodies, including muscle loss, bone density reduction, and cardiovascular issues. Every single kilogram of supplies sent from Earth costs an enormous amount of money and is limited by rocket payload capacity. Despite all these extreme challenges, engineers and scientists believe it is possible with smart engineering, advanced technology, and human determination. The first city on Mars will not appear overnight. It will grow in clear phases. Phase 1 will be small robotic missions sending supplies, rovers, and 3D printing equipment years in advance. Phase 2 will be the arrival of the first small crew of 10 to 50 astronauts in Starship spacecraft. These early habitats will be pressurized modules landed on the surface. Some will be inflatable designs, while others will be 3D printed using local Martian regolith mixed with special binding polymers to create thick radiation shielding walls. The best location is likely near the equator in areas like Jezero Crater or Arcadia Planitia because they have accessible water ice underground. Water is the most precious resource on Mars because it can be split into oxygen for breathing and hydrogen for rocket fuel. Finding and extracting that ice will be one of the highest priorities for the first settlers. Daily life in the early years will be extremely challenging but highly structured. Colonists will live in connected pressurized modules and wear advanced spacesuits whenever they go outside. They will work in shifts growing food in large hydroponic and aeroponic farms using LED lights powered by massive solar arrays and small nuclear reactors. They will grow potatoes, leafy greens, tomatoes, strawberries, wheat, and even possibly fish in aquaponics systems. A single Martian day, called a sol, is 24 hours and 37 minutes long, so their schedules will be adjusted accordingly. Communication with Earth will have a delay of between 4 to 24 minutes depending on where the planets are in their orbits, so the colonists will have to be very autonomous and make many decisions without real-time help from mission control. Psychological support will be critical because the isolation, the red, monotonous landscape, and the constant danger will put enormous mental pressure on the crew. As the settlement slowly grows into a real city, the architecture will become much more ambitious and permanent. Huge, transparent domes made of special radiation-shielding materials will create large, open living spaces with parks, trees, walking paths, and even small lakes. These domes will maintain Earth-like air pressure and temperature inside. Most residential and working areas will still be built underground or heavily covered with several meters of Martian soil for protection against radiation and meteorites. The advanced 3D printing technology will allow them to print entire buildings, roads, and infrastructure using local Martian materials. Water recycling systems will be incredibly efficient, aiming for over 95% recovery rate. Power will come from a combination of large solar farms, small nuclear reactors, and possibly geothermal energy if they can tap into volcanic regions on Mars. Living on Mars will change human bodies in profound ways. Because gravity is only 38% of Earth's, muscles will weaken faster, bones will lose density, and the cardiovascular system will work differently. Children born on Mars may develop longer limbs and different body proportions. Returning to Earth could become dangerous or even impossible for them due to the higher gravity. This creates deep ethical questions. Should we allow humans to be born on Mars, knowing they might never be able to visit their ancestral home planet? Medical facilities on Mars will need to be extremely advanced, with artificial gravity rooms, bone density treatments, and psychological support systems to help people cope with the isolation and the red, monotonous landscape that can cause depression. Food production will be one of the greatest achievements of the first Martian city. Early farms will be hydroponic and aeroponic systems growing crops without soil. Later, they will experiment with genetically modified plants that can grow directly in Martian regolith after it has been cleaned of perchlorates. Imagine greenhouses filled with rows of potato plants, lettuce, tomatoes, strawberries, and even small fruit trees under artificial sunlight. Fish farming and insect protein will likely be part of the diet because they are efficient and require less space. The goal is to reach full food independence so the city no longer depends on expensive resupply missions from Earth. Transportation inside the city will be very different from Earth. Electric rovers and underground tunnels will connect different modules and domes. For longer distances across the Martian surface, pressurized vehicles and eventually small aircraft designed for the thin atmosphere will be used. Outside the protected domes, every person will need to wear advanced spacesuits with life support systems that can last for many hours. The suits will be lighter and more flexible than current ones thanks to new materials being developed today. Energy production is another critical challenge. Massive solar farms will cover large areas, but dust storms can reduce their efficiency for months. Small nuclear reactors, especially advanced small modular reactors, will provide reliable baseload power. Some plans even include using the natural geothermal heat from ancient volcanic regions on Mars. The city will aim for complete energy independence as quickly as possible. As the population grows from dozens to hundreds and then to thousands, the city will develop real social structures. There will be schools for children born on Mars, hospitals, recreation centers, gyms with special equipment to counteract low gravity effects, and even entertainment venues. People will form relationships, have families, and create a new culture that is uniquely Martian. Art, music, and stories about the red planet will emerge. The first Martian city will not just be a survival base, it will become a new branch of human civilization. The ultimate vision is breathtaking. In 50 to 100 years, we could see a thriving city of 10,000 to 100,000 people living under giant domes with parks, lakes, forests, and bustling streets. People walking out in lightweight suits, children playing in low gravity, scientists conducting research that benefits both Mars and Earth. Mars could become humanity's backup planet, a second home in case something catastrophic happens on Earth. It represents our species' greatest leap, becoming multi-planetary.
Building the first city on Mars is one of the most ambitious and inspiring projects in human history. It will require incredible international cooperation, brilliant engineering, and enormous courage from the people who choose to go. But the reward is nothing less than securing the long-term survival of humanity and opening the door to exploring the rest of the solar system. So, let me ask you, if you had the opportunity, would you move to the first city on Mars? Would you want your children to be the first generation born on another planet? Drop your honest thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the future of Mars colonization, please like the video, subscribe for more futuristic content, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.